Hi everyone, it's Ginny here, and what I'm showing you here is I'm making a couple of postcards for a swap I did in the Facebook group The Gypsy and the Witch, which is organised by Rita Marie, who is the Gypsy on YouTube, and Cali Black, who was the Witch on YouTube. This swap is about remembering Cali. She recently passed away on the 18th of April, and she's very much missed by many of us who followed her right from the beginning, which is what I did. So making this video is pretty hard. I did this postcard swap last month, but it's taken me a while to getting around to doing this video because it's been really difficult for me to talk about what happened with Cali without crying, so I'm going to try and hold it together for this. So I'll just explain what I'm doing here. Is I'm painting a background which is a galaxy background, and I followed one of Cali's tutorials where she did some galaxy dinnerware. And so you mix acrylic paint with glue, and it makes it easier to work with, and it leaves a little bit of a texture when it dries. So following Cali, she also put some glitter in with the paint, which gives it a bit of a sparkle. And here I'm just adding a bit of white over the top of the blues and purples that I've added previously. Now here I've made a bit of a sun symbol. I say a bit of because it's a bit wonky. But yeah, that's just how it turned out, and I just thought, rather than trying to make it perfect, I'll just leave it as it is. So I'm just colouring it here with a couple of different colours of yellow, and then I'll introduce some red here, and I'm just trying to make it look a bit like a sun, with sort of feathering the paint out a little bit on the yellow parts to make it look like the rays of the sun. The theme of the postcard is supposed to be remembering Cali, and it's things that remind you of Cali. And I'll just explain that Cali had a fantastic YouTube channel. She was an awesome artist. She was very much into everything boho, witchy, gypsy. She loved sun symbols. She had them all over her house, and also moons. And a lot of her art that she created was galaxy related. She just loved it so much. Her favourite colour was purple. And so I'm using blues and purples, which were both her favourite colours, in the backgrounds of these two postcards. We were only supposed to make one, but I felt like making two, so I did, because there was many things that remind me of Cali, but these two stood out the most. So this is the first one I'm making here. It's a galaxy background and a sun symbol, and some words that Cali would always say at the end of her videos. Just to give you an idea of what Cali's channel was like, or I should say it still is, because her channel is still up. And I'll leave a link to her channel if you're interested in going to see what she did and hopefully getting to know her. She was a really beautiful soul. So some of her videos were galaxy stones, galaxy dinnerware, galaxy ornaments. She made ornaments for a Christmas tree or just to hang around the house. She did a lot of galaxy art related things. She did boho candles, hollow globe ornaments, boho window projects, nebula in a jar, moon charms, boho gypsy wing catcher, whole heap of different things like that. Boho hippie essential oil diffuser charms, and so on. She also did a vlog every Wednesday, and where she invited us into her home and showed us all the things that she had. She called her place her nest, and she decorated it with all the things that she loved. Yeah, so I'm out of sync with the video now. I just meant to say that I'm just doing a background here for the next card, so I'll just tell you the previous one. I put the words peace and love, which are the words that Cali always said at the end. She wished everybody peace and love. So here I'm creating the second card, and I'm just sort of sketching on a basic window frame with a curtain around it, and I'm trying to sort of recreate Cali's kitchen window, which was just absolutely gorgeous. She had a bead curtain that she made herself and hung up, and she had all kinds of different coloured glass ornaments and bottles and things, and she also had lots of plants growing in her kitchen and in her living area as well, but in her kitchen she always had something in a jar growing, such as, you know, the stem of a celery plant or a garlic bulb that had started to sprout, and she would have them sitting in water. An avocado pit, she grew quite a few of those, or tried to. Sometimes they didn't work, but that's what her kitchen window was like. It was just really beautiful, and if you go and check out some of her videos, you'll be able to see for yourself that my little bit of artwork here really doesn't do it justice, because her window was just stunning. The whole place was stunning. So yeah, I've done a window frame, purple curtain around it, and now I'm just sketching in a little pot with a little plant growing in it, sort of a vine with some leaves, and I'm using gel pen here just to colour it in. Yeah, my mind goes blank sometimes. I'll just be quiet for a minute until I think of something else. Here I realised that I should have put gesso first, because the blue bits from the background are showing through the leaf, so I now go in with some gesso and fill those areas in, and yeah, try again. So while that's drying, I start to pencil in a bit of a bead curtain hanging from her window. I get about this far and then I realise there's no point. I may as well just paint it in rather than sketch and then paint over the top. Now this took a really long time, so I've sort of edited this video quite a lot so that you can just see bits and pieces of me adding to it as I go, rather than you having to watch the whole thing. You can see I've got a pretty little bit of paper in the background where I've wiped my brush off in between each colour. I was thinking a lot about Cali while I was doing this, and yeah, I really miss her. I really miss her videos. I miss being in touch with her. She she was a vegan like myself, and so we had that in common. We used to talk about animals and recipes and all kinds of different things, and it was really good having that connection with her on YouTube and on Facebook as well. She started the Gypsy and the Witch group with Rita Marie, and they each did a monthly project with a theme to it, and set up the Facebook group so others could follow them and do their own journal pages or whatever and follow along. And there's a really good community in there. Unfortunately, I didn't join it early on. I only joined it earlier this year. But I'm really happy to be a part of that group now, and there's so many lovely ladies in there, and all of which have that thing in common that we all love Cali and miss her so much. So I'm kind of gone off track again. What I'm doing here, I've got some glitter glue, and there are little stars and moons in there, so I'm picking those out and sticking them around the border. You can't really see them that well, but they do sparkle if you hold them up to the light. I've also made the leaves of the plant bigger because I realised I wanted to write some words in there and they wouldn't fit if I'd left them too small. And I put down the centre of the window frame some of the little ornaments that Cali had hanging in her window. Yeah, it's just, you know, a little representation. It's not exactly how they were, but similar. So now I'm just going around the outside of the leaves and the stem, colouring them in again, seeing what else I need to do. And now I'm writing in my words, which is what Cali used to call me, and I called her back, was my beautiful vegan sister. So now I'm just covering the card with a bit of Mod Podge gloss to protect it, and I unfortunately made the mistake of smudging a bit of the gel pen, but it was a bit too late by then. It doesn't look too bad, I suppose. So now I'm just filling in the back of the card with the date and my signature. And yeah, so that's it. I wrote this on the back of both of the cards and sent them to my partner, who is also here in Australia. And I'll show you in another video coming up the card that she sent me. So that's it, that's my 2 cards, and thanks a lot for watching, and I'll leave the rest to the music now. Bye.